What if the very thing you rely on to survive, your mind, is also the prison that keeps you trapped? This video is a deep, transformative exploration inspired by the power of now. Be the untethered by. This is not about becoming mindless. It is about becoming free. If you've ever felt anxious for no clear reason, trapped in overthinking, disconnected from the present moment, or exhausted by your own thoughts, this video is for you. Watch slowly. Listen deeply. Let the silence between the words speak. There is a voice in your head. It speaks constantly. It comments on everything. It judges, compares, remembers, worries, plans, regrets, and predicts. From the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, it never stops. Most people believe this voice is who they are. But what if that belief is the root of almost all human suffering? What if the mind, brilliant as it is, was never meant to rule your life? What if true freedom begins not by adding more knowledge, but by stepping back from thought itself? This video is not motivation. It is not productivity advice. It is not positive thinking. This is an invitation to see something most people never notice. A truth so simple that the mind cannot grasp it. Part 1. The illusion of thinking. You think because you believe you must. You believe that without thinking, you would disappear. That silence equals emptiness. That without thought, there is nothing. But look closer. Thinking is not who you are. Thinking is something that happens. Thoughts appear. Thoughts disappear. And yet, you remain. The mind creates a continuous story, a narrative about me. My past, my mistakes, my fears, my plans. This story feels personal, but it is not permanent. It is a stream, not the source. Eckhart Tolle calls this identification with thought. The moment you believe every thought, you lose awareness. You become trapped inside a mental movie that never ends. And here's the paradox. The mind is an incredible tool, but a terrible master. Part 2. Why thinking creates suffering. Most suffering does not come from reality. It comes from resistance to reality. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. The mind lives in time. It is always in the past or the future. Rarely here. Almost never now. Anxiety is future-focused thinking. Regret is past-focused thinking. Depression is attachment to memory. Fear is imagination without presence. Notice something important. Right now, in this exact moment, are you actually in danger? If you remove thought, what remains? Breath, sensation, awareness. Peace is not created. It is revealed when thinking quiets. Part 3. The ego. A voice pretending to be you. The ego is not evil. It is simply a survival mechanism that has overstayed its role. The ego says, I am my thoughts. I am my story. I must defend my identity. I must be right. The ego feeds on comparison. It needs conflict. It needs drama. Michael A. Singer explains this clearly. The voice in your head is not you. It is something you are aware of. And anything you are aware of cannot be who you are. This single insight changes everything. Part 4. Watching the thinker. Try this experiment. Do not stop thinking. Just watch the next thought. Where does it come from? Did you choose it? Did you plan it? No. It appears on its own. Now notice this. If you can observe a thought, there must be something in you that is not the thought. That something is awareness. Awareness does not judge. It does not rush. It does not fear. It simply is. Freedom begins the moment you stop identifying with the voice. Part 5. Stoicism and Mastery of the Mind. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Epictetus taught that suffering comes not from events, but from our judgments about them. Stoicism is not emotional suppression. It is clarity. It is choosing not to let the mind drag you into unnecessary suffering. When thought loses authority, peace takes its place. Part 6. Why silence feels uncomfortable. Most people avoid silence. Why? Because silence removes distraction. And without distraction, unresolved emotions surface. The mind fears stillness because stillness dissolves illusion. But discomfort is not danger. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is presence without narration. Part 7. You are not your story. Your story says, "I am broken. I am behind. I should be different." But stories are thoughts. Thoughts are temporary. You are not the past. You are not the future. You are the awareness in which both appear. When thinking stops, even briefly, you don't disappear. You expand. Part 8. Practical shift into the now. This is not about forcing silence. Force creates resistance. Instead, feel your breath. Notice bodily sensations. Listen without labeling. Observe without judging. Presence is effortless. The mind quiets naturally when attention returns to now. Part 9. The fear of letting go. The ego whispers, "If I stop thinking, I will lose control." But control is an illusion. Life moves on its own. The trees grow. The heart beats. Breath happens. You don't manage life. You experience it. Letting go is not loss. It is relief. Part 10. Freedom is not a future event. Freedom is not enlightenment. It is not perfection. It is not escape. Freedom is the absence of unnecessary suffering. Freedom is knowing, I am not the voice. And once you see this, you can never unsee it. Thoughts still come, but they no longer rule. You were never meant to live inside your head. You were meant to live here. Before thought, before story, before identity. The mind is a tool. Awareness is home. And the moment you stop believing every thought, you don't lose yourself. You finally meet who you truly are. If this video resonated with you, sit in silence for 1 minute after it ends. No phone, no thoughts, just presence. That is where freedom begins.